Hi everyone, my name is Camilla, and this is my final reflection tweet for our moral leadership class at UF. The only person that's watching this is probably Tony, so hey Tony. If not, welcome. The assignment for this was to kind of summarize the whole course in about 5 minutes, so I will try my best to do so. The one word that I think sums up class for me is understanding. Through questions, through different experiences, and by wanting to be understanding, by default, you're more able to be ethical and able to be moral because you're asking the questions that you need to, again, understand. The throughout class, the one of the main themes is ask questions. I can't not say that enough. It's you have to know the entire situation as best as you can, front and back, so that you can really know either where the person that made the decision was coming from or all the different factors that are influencing a particular decision. So by asking questions and gaining that understanding, you'll be able to make the best decision overall. I think it's also one of the things that I also got from class was to be open to changing your mind. Through the understanding and through asking questions, you might get to a point where you're like, wow, I thought of this in that way, but with all of this evidence, maybe it's not the way that I thought. And being open to changing what you initially thought and recognizing that shift. Maybe it was like the way that you grew up that taught you that, or something a friend said. Whatever the case, you can still grow from that experience if it was maybe a truth that you thought was true but may not be true to everyone else. Also, I think something I gathered, especially from today's class, was not to dismiss someone that makes an incorrect decision, but instead to challenge yourself to consider that person's perspective. So whether that be engaging in dialogue with someone that shares different political views, or maybe it's recognizing that something that's morally incorrect to you could still be morally correct to someone else, without even thinking about the ethics portion. And like really accepting some moments, depending on the severity of the situation, accepting some moments as they are and some decisions as they are, when they're not necessarily at your hand. It really depends. That last part really depends on the situation, because it depends on how many people are being impacted by that decision as well. So again, all factors to consider in understanding the problem. The one quote that did resonate with me, I actually just hopped understanding into Google, and what came up was, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. I don't know why that struck me so much, but I think it's because looking back, like they say, hindsight is 20/20, but you have to live life moving forward in the sense that when you take that first step, you have to realize where you came from. That's kind of what I gathered from the quote. So before you take that step forward to reflect and look back and see, okay, like, did it work before? Did it not work before? And how can I make it better for the future? There's a quote out there that says the beauty about the school of experience is that it'll test you again if you flunk the first time. So sometimes similar challenges are put in our way so that we can gain the experiences to not have to do it one more time. So thanks for listening. Bye, Tony, and anyone else who's actually watching this.